excuse to discriminate for the reasons that I will state. Number two, I believe that this bill gives every individual the opportunity, based on his or her view of their religion, to unilaterally interpret the law to the detriment of the state because of the manner in which person is defined and the manner in which religious practice is defined. And finally, I believe that the bill is going to create enormous difficulty in enforcing and administering the law for the very same reasons. Now, why do I say that this is an excuse to discriminate, practice invidious discrimination? It's the reason that the representative over here on my left raised earlier, and that's the definition of what is the exercise of religion. And included in that definition is this: the right to act or refuse to act in a manner that is substantially motivated by a sincerely held religious belief, whether or not the religious exercise is compulsory or central to a larger system of religious belief. And the way that's been interpreted...
Can I ask what line he's referring to, Mr. Chairman?
I do not have the same...
I think what we may give to you is a copy of the current bill, Mr. Bauer. I think that some things that were coming through the Senate may have been modified or removed over a period of time.
It is in what was labeled Code Section 15 or 5015-3.
Yeah.
I asked that, Mr. Chairman, because the definition he gave is not in the bill that we have.
Yes, it's been,
okay, well, look at it would be exercise religion means any exercise religion, whether or not compelled by or central to a system of religious belief, which is line 71 and 72. It's the same thing. Right. Essentially the same thing, Mr. Fleming. And what that's going to do, although the language is slightly different, that will give any individual the right to say, look, this is my religious belief, and as a result, I can do pretty much whatever I want to in terms of doing or not doing. So that if I want to not bake a cake, I don't want to engage in this or that activity, I can do so. That is an excuse to discriminate. I don't think there's any question about that. And that is an excuse to exclude. I do not think that is good law. That is not something that we should be enacting in our state. And I think it will be much to our detriment. And the question that Mr. Bruce raised earlier, I think it was to Senator McCoon, what can people do or not do given the passage of this kind of legislation? They can do a lot that is detrimental to their fellow citizens. And I think what this will do is it will exclude. It will give the opportunity to exclude in the name of religion, and I think that's a disaster. I think that is an unmitigated disaster for this state, and I do not think that is what we ought to be doing in the name of religion, and I say that most respectfully. That's number one. Number two,